Across Formula One's 70-year history, there have been many remarkable individuals that have moulded the sport into what it is today. Sir Frank Williams might just be the most remarkable.
Born Francis Owen Garbett Williams in the northeast of England in South Shields during the Second World War on the 16th of April 1942, Frank was destined to be in motorsport, but his future didn't lie behind the cockpit of the wheel, and eventually found himself dealing in racing cars.
In 1966, Frank Williams started the Frank Williams racing team with its driver Piers Courage. They started together in Formula 2 before graduating to Formula 1 50 years ago in 1969.
The team's only car was a second-hand Brabham chassis, and the team at the time was a skeleton staff. Despite all the odds, the team finished on the podium in only their second race at Monaco, and also claimed a second place in the United States Grand Prix at Watkins Glen.
However, the team hit tragedy just 1 year later in 1970 as its driver Piers Courage tragically died during the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Sir Frank was devastated, but didn't want to lose out on his and Piers' dream of racing in Formula 1, so nobly continued the sport.
With debt mounting up as the seasons passed, Sir Frank sold his Williams team to businessman Walter Wolff in 1976.
Frank stayed on at the Wolff team as team principal in 1976, but decided to try again. In 1977, Williams Racing Engineering was born, Frank's second Formula 1 team.
Sir Frank teamed up with ambitious young engineer by the name of Patrick Head, who only the previous year had hired him at Wolff. At first the team were based out of an old carpet warehouse, but after signing the young fast Australian driver Alan Jones and a sponsorship deal from the Middle East, the team had finally become players at the top half of the field.
The team claimed its first podium in 1978 and just 1 year later came into its own with 5 victories in the later half of 1979.
The first of which was here at Silverstone exactly 40 years ago to the day, a fitting place for a first victory.
In 1980, Alan Jones won the Drivers' Championship and Williams secured back-to-back Drivers' and Constructors' titles in 1980 and 1981. However, just as Williams was finding its feet, in 1986, Frank suffered a life-changing crash injury after what happened at France on the way back from Paul Ricard.
Severely paralysed, the doctors consulted Sir Frank's wife Ginny about turning off his life support. She refused, and Sir Frank cheated death and returned to the sport to run the team. Williams won the 1986 Constructors' Championship and both titles the following year.
Over the next 33 years, Williams has cemented itself as one of the most dominant teams in Formula 1 history, with 7 drivers' titles, 9 constructors' titles, and 114 race victories, all under Sir Frank's rule.
Now 77, Sir Frank is the world's longest living paraplegic and still the figurehead of his team, Williams.
They have built some of the finest cars in Formula 1 history. They have raced some of the finest drivers in the sport's history. And behind all of that, for the past 50 years, is one man, Sir Frank Williams. Now, with his 3 children, including Claire Williams, who is the deputy team principal at the moment of Williams, she gave birth to a son last year, ensuring that the Williams name will live on forevermore in Formula 1.